Step on up, sit down, twist off that bottle top or crack open that can, and welcome to Porch Matters. This is Terry Cagle coming to you from my back porch. Yes sir, yes ma'am, the name of this show is Authentic. On Porch Matters, our saying is this: big issues or just a friendly conversation, no topic is off limits. We take pride in being able to talk about anything with each other in an open discussion. Open discussion is one of the only ways to learn. Your perspective could be changed. You could change the perspective of others. Friends and family, welcome to another episode of Porch Matters. I'm glad you're here. I don't know about y'all, but these past 2 or 3 weeks has been pretty crazy for me. Right off the bat, I need to apologize. Guys, I've been in a funk for the last little bit, and I'm not going to go into too many details, but at the same time, no topic is off limits on this show, even when it comes to me. And you are my audience. You are taking the time to download and listen to this show, so I owe you the truth. So here it is. I've been in a funk, and there are times whenever I could be the most confident person in the world. Then there are other times where I get into my own head and I question everything. I question whether or not I'm doing my best at work. I question if I'm doing the best for my drivers. I question if I'm the best that I can be on this podcast. I question if I'm a good son to my mother. I question if I'm a good boyfriend to Stacy. If I'm a good role model for Xander. If I'm a good role model for my little cousins, or if I'm a good, solid person for everybody in my circle that needs a solid person. I question that. And it's been affecting me. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's been affecting me in every aspect of my life, and it finally caught up with me this week on the podcast. I had an interview lined up, and a personal situation came up yesterday, and I wasn't able to get the interview done. So, being teetotal honest with you, I am coming to this microphone and coming to you right now with a couple of notes, and I'm just shooting from the hip. This is just me and you. I've been questioning everything, as I said. And whenever I get in my own head, I get in a funk. I don't know how else to say it. I have wasted 2 weeks. There is so much stuff that I need to get done with this show. There is so much stuff that I need to get done around the house. And I can have a conversation with myself in my head and be like, dude, get off your butt. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. And past couple of weeks, I hadn't been able to find the motivation. I have failed you. And I apologize. I make no excuses. I failed you. I will tell you that I will do the absolute best in my power to not ever let that happen again. You deserve better than that. You deserve the best version of me that you can get. And from here on out, I promise to do my best to provide that. I forgot to post the Would You Rather question that I asked on the last episode, so you could comment. I posted it today on the Facebook page. I got one comment. Thank you, Robert, from Bigfoot Club. I appreciate it. Nah, the would you rather question for last week was, would you rather be Batman or Superman? Based off of the conversation that I had with John Ware. John, if you happen to be listening to this, thank you very much for coming on to the show, my friend. It was a great conversation. Looking forward to the next one. I failed you there. I didn't post that. I've got some big plans for this show. And I have said that for months now. I apologize. I haven't made those plans a reality. And I'm not saying all of this to tell you or to get you to feel like a woe is me or anything like that. That's not what this is about. This is about me being honest with you. Here are my plans. I have been working on this porch to try and get this porch, to try and make this porch a little bit more video worthy. I'll say it that way. The plan has been with me to start taking some of the prior episodes in the archives, posting them on YouTube, and starting to do some video content for you. Work has been busy and life has been busy, and I haven't had I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say it like this and be 100% real. I haven't made the time to get it done. Have you ever been in any of those situations where you're, let's say early in the morning, you're sleeping good, that alarm clock goes off, and you hear the alarm clock go off, and then you start having conversations with yourself, start arguing with yourself. You got to get up. You got to go to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. But yet you just can't find the motivation. Well, that's kind of been me. And again, there's no excuses, just being real. And I have been kicking myself in the butt all day today. And I am fixing to start making some changes in my personal life, and you will be able to see the benefits of my labor here very soon. Moving on. Tuesday, in Alabama anyway, there's a very big thing coming up. In Alabama, the primary election is happening. You've heard me say time and time again how important local politics are. If you haven't heard it and you're just now listening, I am so sorry that this is the episode that you decided to listen to first. Please go back and listen to prior episodes. It's a whole lot better than this one. But I have harped on how important local politics are. If you don't get out and vote Tuesday, you have no excuse to gripe. We, the people, have the power to change this country. One vote at a time. I wholeheartedly believe that. If you like paying $4.50 a gallon, if you like the inflation being the way it is right now, if you like there being a shortage of literally everything known to man, seems like there's a shortage on. It don't matter what. Workers at restaurants, the way you can't go in and sit down at a place and eat. You have to use a drive-thru because there's not enough people there working. Or you can't get this, that, and the other because there's not enough people to run the trucks to deliver it. Baby formula. When in the world have we ever had a baby formula shortage? What's caused that? I have no idea. If you don't like all of this, now is your one time to do something about it. Right now. This is how we do it. If we don't like what our politicians are doing, now is our time to change it. Do your research, because you got one day. By the time this show comes out, you've got one day to do your research. And then Tuesday, it's time to vote. You can either vote for the people that are in there right now, or you have the opportunity to vote somebody new in that agrees with your stances and agrees with your principles. And you have a chance then in November to get them voted into office. That's it, folks. I can't make it any plainer than that. We can either settle for what we're getting right now and prepare for worse, or we can do something about it. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, libertarian, conservative libertarian, liberal libertarian, independent. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is if we see something that needs to be changed in the political realm, we have a primary and we have a general election to do it. Are we going to continue down the path that we're on, or are we going to do something to cause some change? That's my question to you. Personally, I'm going to do what I can to try and bring some change. In Alabama, each county is going to have a different ballot because that's the way it is. You've also got a Democrat ballot and you've got a Republican ballot because that's what you're voting for. You're voting for who's going to represent each party in November. In order to vote for a specific person, you have to pick that party's ballot and vote for that person. So, what I'm going to do, because I live in Walker County, I'm going to read to you your choices on each ballot for Walker County. I'm going to start with the Republican ballot. On the Republican ballot for governor, here's your choices. Lindy Blanchard, Lou Burdette, I possibly butchered that. If I did, I apologize. Stacey Lee George, Kay Ivey, which is the incumbent, Tim James, Donald Trent Jones, Dean Odle, Dave Thomas, Dean Young. Dave Thomas is the one that came on to the show a few episodes ago. And quite frankly, he is my pick. I'm just being upfront and honest with you. I appreciated him coming on to the show. I really liked what he had to say. I agree with pretty much every single thing that he had to say. So, Dave Thomas has my support. For United States Senator, you have Lily Bodie. Probably butchered that one. I apologize. After looking over this ballot, there's probably going to be several other ones that I butcher too, so it is what it is. You've got Katie Britt, Mo Brooks, Carla M. DePriest, Mike Durant, and Jake Schaefer. For Attorney General, you've got Steve Marshall and Harry Bartlett Steele III. For Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Place 5, you've got Derek Cook and Deborah Jones. That would be for the Alabama Supreme Court. For Secretary of State, you have Wes Allen, Christian Horn, Ed Packard, Jim Ziegler. For State Auditor, you have Stan Cook, Rusty Glover, Andrew Sorrell. For Public Service Commission, place number 1, you have John Hammock, Stephen McLam, Jeremy Oden, Brent Woodall. For Public Service Commission, place number 2, you've got Chip Becker, Robin Lideker, and Robert L. McCollum. And specifically for Walker County, you have Walker County Board of Education Superintendent: Rhonda Davidson, Thomas Kaiser, Christopher Lee McCullough, and Dennis Ray Willingham. The Democratic primary ballot for Walker County. Your choices for governor on the Democratic primary ballot is Yolanda Flowers, Malika Fortier, Patricia Jameson, Arthur Kennedy, Chad Chig Martin, Doug Newblue Smith. For United States Senator, you have Will Boyd, Brandon Dean, and Lanny Jackson. For United States Representative 4th Congressional District, you have Rhonda Gore and Rick Neighbors. The reason why there's not any more choices for the Walker County and for the Democratic primary is there are no other Democratic candidates that are running in our area for specific offices that are up. This is a red county. Has been for a few years now. On both ballots, you've got a proposed amendment to appear. It's a statewide amendment that they put on every ballot in the state of Alabama at every election cycle. Anytime you have a statewide amendment, it goes on the ballot. This one is proposing an amendment to the Constitution of Alabama of 1901, authorizing the issuance and sale of general obligation bonds of the state of Alabama of up to $85 million for the purposes of the improvement, renovation, equipping, acquisition, provision, construction, and maintenance of Alabama state parks under the jurisdiction of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, and public historical sites and public historical parks under the jurisdiction of the Alabama Historical Commission. Now, what does that mean? Well, I've done a little bit of research off of ballotpedia.org, and this is the meaning that they are translating from all of that legal language. It amends the state constitution to authorize $85 million in bonds to be issued for improving, renovating, and maintaining public historical sites and state parks, excluding the Confederate Memorial Park in Mulberry. Do your research, pick your candidate, and go for it. I am so sorry, I didn't read one on the Republican primary. We also have for state representative for district number 13 on the Republican primary ballot: Greg Barnes, Keith Davis, Matt Dozier, Charlie Waits, which was also on this show and has my support, and Matt Woods. They are running for state representative of district number 13, which happens to be the district that I'm in. District number 14, which also covers part of Walker County as well as some other counties. You have Corey Franks, Tom Fredericks, and Timothy Wadsworth. And that's it. That's your primary. Those are your choices to go forward in this state. Again, not trying to beat a dead horse, but we need to do our part, folks. That is our part. We've got to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Once again, I'm sorry that I have failed you these 2 weeks. And I promise you it will get better. The would you rather question for last week that I failed to post until today was, would you rather be Batman or Superman? There was one comment for it, and it came from Robert Dominguez of Bigfoot Club, and he said Batman all day. Thank you, Robert, for commenting on such short notice. This week's Would You Rather question, which will be posted as soon as the show is dropped, is would you rather be stuck on an island with 4 people you hate or be stuck on an island alone? Figured I'd give one that would cause a little bit of thought. Now, in a lot of instances, I would love to be stuck on an island alone because I am very content in my solitude. But, realistically speaking, I can work with people that I hate. I'm an adult. I have done it almost every day of my working life. There are people that I can't stand that I have worked with. There are people that I have absolutely hated that I have been able to work with. It's called being a mature adult. We've got to do that sometimes. And in that situation, I would rather have 4 people that I couldn't stand that I could work with to possibly better myself and get off of that island than I would be just to be able to rely on myself, because there's a lot of things in this world that I don't know how to do. One of those people that I hate might be able to do it, and we might be able to get something accomplished and be able to get off of that island. So that's my choice. What say you? Please leave a comment under the picture on the post, and I will read it next week, the next episode. Until then, that's all I've got tonight, or this episode rather. It is tonight, and if you can hear it in the background, it's raining. It's fixing to come a storm, and I would hate to have all my electrical equipment here fried. So I hope everybody has a fantastic couple of weeks. I hope everything in your life is positive the next couple of weeks. And until we talk again, thank you very much for downloading this episode as well as the other ones. Thank you very much for your continued listenership. Thank you for supporting this show, even in instances like right now, whenever it has failed you. I can't thank you enough. Without you, I can't do this. Can't stress that enough. And I hope that all of you stick with me. And I promise you, bigger and better things are on their way. Big thanks to every single one of you for your continued support of me and this show. Without you, there is no show. If you are new to the show and like what you hear, hit that like, subscribe, or follow button and download the episodes in our archives. If this show has been a positive addition to your life, please rate the show and leave a review. Won't take you but a minute, and it really would help the show. Find us on social media by typing Porch Matters Podcast into the search bar. Word of mouth is still the best way of sharing. Pick your favorite episode and share it with at least one person this week. There are a lot of people out there that have never heard of a podcast before. I sure would appreciate it, and I'll see you next time, right here on Porch Matters.